I'm going to show you guys how to install these lithium iron phosphate 100 amp hour automatic self-heating batteries in your boat. Now this is a small boat. I have 2 batteries in series to power my Taroba, which I run full time. And they also sent me a pair of 10 amp waterproof chargers. Now I'm Josh from Bennett Fishing. They gave me a code BIF to use at checkout. It's either 5 or 6% off your order. And right now, I'm gonna try to get this video up today. Amazon has its Prime Day deals where these things are severely discounted. These things are like 230, 40 bucks or something like that, maybe 260. These are the heating ones, and the reason I go for heating ones is because I'm here in the Northeast. I was fishing in February last year where it was, you know, 20 degrees in the morning, and you are not supposed to be charging these batteries when they're cold. So these batteries are heated. They actually have heat packs on both sides. It senses when it gets cold enough out and tells the charging unit to basically say, hey, heat me up before I charge. So let's get into it right now. Help if I had the blade out. So they come with a giant manual, which we'll go over here in a minute. And then make sure that your nuts and bolts, post battery, post bolts are right here. And make sure you put those little silly caps on. That'll prevent from short circuiting out on things. All right, so we got all that extra stuff. Set those aside. Take this out, set that aside. Open up the bag. There we go. Now I think these weigh a total of, I don't know, I think they're 27 pounds or something like that, which is probably about a third of the weight of a lead acid battery or even a glass mat battery this size. And these are little plastic caps in there. That's just for shipping. We're gonna leave those in there so we don't short circuit stuff while we're doing an install. A very important part is the charger. Back in the day, if you guys remember, some sort of like cool tech, like Garmin GPS things for your car, have very specific chargers and the cord wouldn't work. Now they've kind of standardized a lot of charging. USB-C's been standardized, and how many watts and how many volts are standardized for phones and stuff like that. These are extremely smart batteries. Now, you get to a certain temperature, they heat. You get too low, they turn off. If you short circuit them, they turn off. So they have a inside here, and you can watch tear apart videos. I'm not gonna tear apart because obviously that voids a warranty. There's lithium cells in there, and then there's a very complex circuit board in there, the BMS, the battery management system, that controls what happens to this battery and when. Now, if you get a really smart battery and a really smart charger, they fight with each other, guaranteed, especially when you have the heating style battery. So I've had issues with smart batteries and smart chargers. These chargers from Lithium are not crazy smart. Basically what they do is they just dump a bunch of energy into the batteries. And these ones are waterproof, and they come with basically, you know, our 120 on one end, and they come with basically a fast disconnect on the other end. So I have 2 choices. One, I can mount these hard in my boat, or I can have them out of my boat. I plan on mounting them hard in my boat, and so I only have to plug in just the 2 cables to charge both batteries. Now these are 10 watts, or these are 10 amps. They do make ones that are 20 amps, but they are not waterproof, so I wouldn't suggest them leaving in your boat. But if you're doing like tournament angling or something like that, where you're doing like back to back to back to back, get those giant chargers. They actually have fans to cool the system, so that is the limit of why you can't get ones that are like waterproof over that 10, because they can't cool that technology fast enough, passively, basically, just where it's just sitting there. So let's do the install on these real quick. So we're almost done. I've mounted one there, and the charging light is on this side and the 120 volts on that side, and I park my boat where I have access on this side of the boat. So my cords are gonna come out this way, chargers are gonna run that way. I can lean over, look in this hatch right here and see if I got green light, green light. it came with these very stout, these are 10mm size screws on the back here, or nuts. Use a nut driver, get those in there. Put as many screws as you can. Do not drill towards the outside of your boat. This is the front bulkhead on my boat, so it's structural. It's gonna have 8 holes in it basically, or yeah, 8 holes in it. It's still gonna be fine. Now I have seen the other ones that are concerned about screwing right to carpet for heat sinks or getting the heat off of them. If I find that they're overheating or something like that, I can cut the carpet out of that section or mount a piece of wood to it and then mount that to wood. Being that they're individual, I'm not too worried about them overheating. Whereas the other style, the smart ones, are one big box that are basically absorbing all that heat and trying to dissipate it at the same time. Give you guys a close up in there upside down. So basically, there it is. I'll install the rest of the bolts here, kind of off camera, but power cords are going that way. They're gonna come out this way. And then we have our Anderson connectors right here. They're gonna go to this battery tray, and it's a battery tray over there as well. Let's talk quickly about battery trays. Now these are, I think these are Atwood size 27 and 31 battery trays. They get 4 holes to bolt them down, so they're screwed into this piece of wood that's like a subplate. And then they have these 2 posts, and then they have this giant clamp system. Yeah, they are Atwood. And then there's 2 big nuts, wing nuts, that screw onto there to hold that thing down. That takes up a majority of my real estate in there. Just using that as a spacer. I'll leave the link for those battery trays down below. There are a lot of ones that look like they're going to be the right size, but make sure you go to Litime's website and get the actual dimensions of your battery. So they make this in a 31. Now they're making it in a size 24, which is smaller in all directions basically, which is their and it's heated, which I wish I knew before I got these, but that's all right. We're gonna pop these in there and wire everything up. So the other thing that you have to buy if you have a 24-volt system is what's called a jumper cable. Now we have to run these batteries in series, not parallel, in order to get equal 24 volts, so positive to negative, and then our trolling motor batteries will come in as well. So we're going to plop this down here. Comes with those nice straps, and we're going to mount it nice and tight with our mounts, both sides. There's actually a QR code here for installation instructions and guiding. So those have a little self-ratcheting. Now that battery is in there for sure. Gonna do the other side. And I'm using the term not so smart because the other chargers can sense a bunch of different stuff. You can change the chemistry on those. These are meant specifically for lithium ion. They have 3 different stages of basically just dumping electricity or voltage or current in there to just get these things to run. And then they also have ways to wake up those batteries. So these batteries have the ability to go to sleep where they seem like they're dead. But basically the BMS, the battery management system, said, hey, something's wrong. I'm gonna shut myself off before I blow up and basically create a short circuit. Let's do the wiring part next. So we're gonna take our little safety caps off on all sides. Now I have my stuff coming from my trolling motor. I have a 60 amp ignition protected circuit breaker, waterproof, from Young Marine. This is right off Amazon, and then basically a little short pigtail. You need this for your trolling motor. If something was to go wrong here, or this was to go draw too many amps, like it was stuck or that was short circuiting, you would fry all your electrical cables. So buy one of these. I think Lifetime actually makes a couple of these. If not, I'll leave the link for this Amazon below. So what this is gonna do, this runs right from our trolling motor, which is up there. It's got our normal outlet up there that runs down and around under here. This is gonna run over to the positive on that side. And we also want to install our trolling motor terminal on the battery first. So if you guys can see that on there first, and then we want to install our pigtails on top. So we want our trolling motor juice to have the most contact with the top terminal. So red to red, and then we're gonna leave this black one loose for a second. We're gonna come back over and we're gonna get our other pigtail and we're gonna do black from our trolling motor. And I forgot to mention, if you guys don't feel comfortable doing this, pay someone to do it. Now there's so many electronics companies out there, and basically there's so much tech going in these boats these days. There's a lot of places opening up just to do this type of stuff, wiring boats. Marinas and stuff will do it, or boat shops will do it, but plan ahead. They're usually very busy, especially here in the Northeast. And then, so now we got our black pigtail here, black to black, negative to negative. Now we want to take our jumper wire, and this is going to give us 24 volt. So we're going to bring this down here, and that cable is now running down underneath here. It's a very fat cable. I bought that right off AutoZone. I'll leave another a link for Amazon or even Lifetime if they make jumper cables. I call them jumper cables, but they're basically just short sections of really heavy gauge wire. And make sure your wire gauges are correct. I'm running a very short distance, so I don't have to run really fat cables. Also, we're running higher voltage, so you don't have a lot of voltage loss over distance, so you don't really need that really fat cable. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. We have our pigtails for charging on this one, pigtails for charging on this one, black to black, red to red. Red coming from the trolling motor, go up to the trolling motor. Black coming from the trolling motor, going up to the trolling motor. And then from positive to negative, that is our jumper that's creating 24 volts. Now, a lot of diagrams will show it diagonally. It doesn't matter. The only reason it's not diagonal on my boat is because I have the batteries reversed, basically like this. If you are concerned, unplug your trolling motor before you start it and put a voltmeter on there to make sure it's 24 volt or your 12 or your 36, whatever you're doing. A 13 mil, or basically a ½ inch. And we're gonna tighten these all up here. Now there is a torque spec for those. I don't know what it is. Don't over tighten it. And then put your little caps on. That may sound silly, but that's going to prevent short circuiting if you have like a case like this, short circuit on it, right? Like I said before, these are the bigger batteries. Now they make a size 24. And if you're just a weekend warrior, you don't need 100 amp hours. I can run this boat for probably 3 days without charging, even though I just charge it every day I run it. So I'm never ever worried about killing my batteries. I get nervous when my battery on my phone runs low. Imagine being out on the boat with clients and you're worried about batteries running out. So get those lithiums, just do it. And like I said, if you're nervous, get a voltmeter, put it on DC. And this one's very expensive voltmeter, so you don't really need something this expensive. But just do a voltage check. These batteries do not come fully charged. It is actually illegal to transport them fully charged. So we're at 13 volts here. And we're on 12 on the other side, 12.8. And while I was doing all this, the circuit breaker for the trolling motor is off. So turn the circuit breaker on. We're gonna come up here and we're gonna check to make sure that says 24 volts. This is a little scary. 26 volts, that's good. Plug the trolling motor in. Beep, 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 we're good to go. Now let's plug the chargers in. What we want to do with the cables in here is make sure they're charging first and then go back and button up all the cables. Been so many times where I plugged everything in, got everything all nice and neat, and then something goes wrong or a fuse pops and I have to undo all the nice wiring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to designate this as battery number 1, and my top charger is going to be battery number 1. Battery 2 is going to be on the So starboard side is 1, port side is number 1, starboard side is number 2. And what's nice about those style connectors, they only go in one way. And then since I charge my boat, I actually have another lithium battery in the back to charge some of my electronics, my screens. I have this little cheap 3-way here from Ace. Battery number 1. Battery number 2, both lights turned red. Like I said, they can't ship these things fully charged. I think they have to be like discharged like 30% or something like that. That's what I heard last. I'll show you the lights real quick. And then red means charging. Flashing red means fault, so I can now see both of those lights. I wish I had done actually setting them up this way. So we're gonna let things charge, make sure everything works. Then we'll come back through with zip ties or Velcro ties and basically button up all the wiring to make it look nice. Just as a precaution, I don't like to do all that stuff first. Get it all squared away, make sure everything works. But that's it. So that's it for the install. Pretty straightforward. Couple bucks in the battery trays. They provide all the screws, they provide the manual. Make sure you read your manual. If you're not comfortable doing this, pay a marina or a boat shop to do it. It's not going to be cheap. But these batteries, you could buy these batteries, I think they have a 5-year warranty. Some of the other brands, they have a 10-year warranty, so you're paying more money for that warranty. I could buy, I don't know, 4 of these for the price of other competitors out there, and most of these cells, the little tiny cells in here that make this at 12.8 volts or the 100 amp hour, are all made in the same factories overseas. So it's not always getting what you pay for. You're paying for warranty, and you're paying for a brand. I could probably run 3 days without charging these things. If you're cold, get the self-heating ones. If you're not in a cold area, just buy your regular ones, and you don't have to worry about it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.